Welcome to another episode on our channel. I wanted to talk about the Polish resistance movement, and I wanted to show a male and a female since both genders were involved in the resistance movement. And we'll talk about the resistance movement in more detail. We'll start with Peggy Carter, Haley Atwell. Sorry. She portrayed Peggy Carter in Captain America. And this is Brad Pitt, one of my favorite actors, as you can probably tell. Anyway, we'll be right back. We are back, and I wanted to portray both a female and a male resistance fighter from Poland because, of course, both genders played a role in the resistance movement. The force that had the most individuals participating with the resistance was called Home, like a house, Home Army. And they managed to disrupt German supply chains throughout Poland, destroying up to about 1/8 of all railways in the country. They also were responsible to providing 43% of all intelligence reports to the United Kingdom. So they were very, very well organized. In fact, I'm going to just read something very quickly here, written by Heinrich Himmler, which isn't of faint praise. It's actually of praise regarding the resistance movement. He said, within the framework of the entire enemy intelligence operations directed against Germany, the intelligence service of the Polish resistance movement assumed major significance. The scope and importance of the operations of the Polish resistance movement, which was ramified down to the smallest splinter group and brilliantly organized, have been in various sources disclosed in connection with carrying out of major police security operations. That was dated in 1942. In 1942, it was estimated that there were 100,000 Polish resistance fighters. In 1943, the estimate was 200,000. And in 1944, the estimate was somewhere between 300,000 and 500,000, which would be basically, if you took the higher number, if that was indeed the right estimate, it would be half of the original military personnel that began at the start of the war, or the invasion, I should say. So they played a vital role in terms of basically disrupting Germany at every step imaginable. And their allegiance, the Home Army pled allegiance to the government that was in exile, or the individuals who formed the government who were in exile. There were other groups, but this one, the Home Army, was the largest and the most effective group in terms of the resistance. So we'll pause now and we'll start with the female and do close-ups from the feet all the way up to the top of the head, side-to-side shots, close-up with the head sculpt, and repeat the process with the male. We'll be right back. So at her feet, we have a detonator that was made out of a piece of wood and just printed out some sort of Polish symbol and just glued that onto the piece of wood in front. The plunger is made out of a dowel and a straight piece of resin that was part of scaffolding to some sort of resin print that we made some time ago. The electrodes in the back, or the electrical components, are rivet heads that were cut off and just glued to the detonator itself. Dynamite was made out of dowels and basically bowstring to keep them together. And then the wire spools were just actually magic invisible thread. So I thought they had a cool look and looked pretty good to scale for this combination. So I went with it. Something out of nothing, really. Her black boots, leather-like, black pants. She's got her coat on, little PPK and silencer, so to speak, at the end of it. We've got a black shirt. We've got a vest on that has some more color, hues of maroon and blue and so forth. And you can see in the back, the MP40, just a little piece of it in the back that you can see. We'll see it better with the side-to-side shot. And of course, the head sculpt of Peggy Carter, Haley Atwell. So we'll pause now and get some good side-to-side shots. We are back. My husband wanted me to say this is a suppressor, not a silencer, but it's a PPK. All right, so we'll go side to side. And actually, for that time period, this hairstyle is absolutely perfect. So I'm very glad I had this head lying around. She's got the MP40 in the back, as you can see. Yeah. So we'll pause and get a nice close-up of her head. So here's a close-up of her head sculpt. And we'll do some profile shots. It's really not a bad head sculpt at all. I forgot who made it, but it's pretty darn good. There you go. So I'm posing him with the detonator, the wire spools, and the explosives again. You can see his black boots, green gaiters, black pants. You can see the MP40 coming into view. And he actually has a German coat on. Black shirt. On his back, he has a Mosin-Nagant. He's got a cap on. Of course, it's a Brad Pitt head. So we'll pause here and then come back and show you side-to-side shots. So we'll do some side-to-side shots here. Definitely a German coat. He's got a British hat on, I believe. And I think you'll be able to see more of the Mosin here. Yeah, so we'll pause now and get some close-ups of his head sculpt. So here is the head sculpt with side profiles. This is a really good head sculpt of Brad Pitt. So here's one last look at our figures of the day, our Polish resistance fighters, a male and a female. They did what they had to do, go underground and fight as best as they could, along with our Polish soldier that we saw earlier, who looks like a British soldier, but apparently paratroopers used British attire. The only thing that changed was the insignia and the badge on the beret, I should say. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.